You think a padlock scares me? I own this county. That's what Cordelia Ashworth Vance bellowed through my front gate that morning, voice sharp as shattered glass. Picture this: light blue designer. Suit already showing sweat stains, hair shellacked into battle mode. Both manicured fists hammering steel bars like she could will them to part. But it was the snap of that padlock that made my day. Sweetest sound I'd heard in 2 years, no question. 100 wedding guests, 47 luxury vehicles, 35 grand blown on an engagement party, all of them stuck behind my new gate. Like Range Rovers and Mercedes had staged their own little mutiny on the county road. Inside those SUVs, confused faces, phones up, probably hoping for their own viral HOA meltdown. She starts up again. Open this gate, or I'll have you arrested. I'm just standing on my porch with coffee in hand, watching 12 years of her reign collapse like a bad souffle. Ma'am, you spent 12 years terrorizing everyone in this county, slashed my tires, filed fake police reports, even tried to steal my water rights with forged paperwork. But here's what you never checked. I'm the guy who bankrupted your husband's company 7 years ago. And this lake? It's been mine ever since. So how does a quiet water consultant wind up toppling the most powerful HOA president in Texas with nothing but a survey map and a stubborn streak? Here's how. See, this lake, 45 acres, glass still at dawn, became my daily ritual. Every morning at 5 sharp, for years, I've been out there measuring water levels, logging every ripple, every inch, every change in the current. Not because anyone's making me, but because I learned. When you own something people want, you document everything. My hands are calloused from decades building things most folks never even notice. Dams, levees, drainage systems. 20 years with the Army Corps of Engineers teaches you. Water always finds the truth, always exposes what's buried. I moved onto this land not by luck, not inheritance, but by winning in court against people who thought money made them bulletproof. 7 years back, as a federal consultant, I started poking into drainage permits for Triton development. On paper, they built high-end communities. But their paperwork stank, runoff with heavy metals. And chemicals was poisoning wells and killing livestock. I traced every bribe, every falsified permit. The lawsuit dragged for 3 years, with their CFO, Thatcher Vance, making it personal, midnight. Visits from lawyers, vandalized trucks, anonymous complaints trying to wreck my security clearance. But water, like truth, doesn't care how rich you are. When the judgment hit, it flattened them. $4.2 million in damages. Criminal charges. And this property, their planned jewel for condos, transferred directly to me. 3 weeks later, I was unpacked and thought the fight was over. Wrong. That's when I met Cordelia, the new HOA president next door, who'd been waiting 7 years for a scapegoat. First time she showed up, light blue Escalade with a CRIA-1 plate, press suit. Clipboard labeled compliance review, like it was the Bible. Mr. Calloway, we need to discuss your situation. My situation? The community expects lake access for events, compliance with maintenance standards, and security protocols. She read from that clipboard like she was laying down the law. Ma'am, I'm not in your HOA. This land predates your subdivision by 40 years. Something flickered in her eyes, a look you get from something wild spotting prey in tall grass. In Millbrook County, cooperation isn't optional. It's survival. Then came the demands. $500 a month community enhancement fee, HOA approval for every change to my property, shared lake access, HOA security cameras, on a road that, unbeknownst to her, ran right through 300 feet of my land. I've got the survey, the title, and a federal court settlement, none of which mention your HOA, I told her. Her smile stayed put, but her eyes went ice cold. Surveys can be reinterpreted. Titles can be challenged. Federal courts are far from Millbrook County. She turned and left, not bothering to look back. That's when I noticed my neighbor, Bellamy Fox, pruning roses. He's 72, a retired county surveyor. Son, you're not the first lakefront owner she's tried to destroy. You're the fourth. It started small. Anonymous complaints, EPA inspectors showing up. About contaminated water, mine tested cleaner than bottled. Building inspectors for structures older than the HOA itself. The health department checking my well, again, pristine. Every visit ended clear, but left a paper trail, building the story that I was a problem neighbor. Then came social isolation. My local hardware store always out of stock, just for me. The gas station's pumps magically broken, the diner losing my breakfast orders. I kept records of everything, not to complain, but because patterns tell stories. Cordelia hadn't just declared war. She'd turned the whole county into her private army. Week 4, her Facebook group, Millbrook's Safety Watch, pops up, 237 members in 48 hours, and the first post a blurry shot of my place, captioned, "Concerned about mysterious late-night activity at lakefront property. Anyone else notice strange vehicles?" There weren't any. I worked from home, lived alone. My only regular visitor was FedEx. Then the sheriff's deputy started showing up. Corwin Stretch, always with anonymous complaints, suspicious vehicles, drugs, illegal dumping. He'd walk the perimeter without asking, take notes, ask about my work, promise follow-ups. 7 visits in 2 weeks, always at dawn, always requiring me to drop everything and prove again that I was just a water consultant. I asked, "Who's filing these complaints?" "Anonymous tips, Mr. Calloway. That's how the system works. Citizens looking out for each other." And, what do you know, every time he left, his car took a left, straight to Cordelia's place. Bellamy found me on my dock that evening. 3 families before you, he told me. The ODMS, the Reinhardts, the Westovers. Each one forced out, harassed. Code violations, vandalized, social shunning. One had their truck's brake lines cut. They all sold at a loss. The buyer? Millbrook Lakeside Holdings, LLC. Same building as Cordelia's real estate office. That night, I dug through the old lawsuit files, found the paper trail. Triton's subsidiary holdings included Millbrook Lakeside Holdings. Cordelia wasn't just being a bad neighbor. She was reclaiming the land her family lost in court. Physical intimidation started next, my dock sabotaged, railings cut, warnings torn down. The security cameras I installed caught Cordelia's nephew Preston in the act, clear as day. Next morning, I marched to her porch, played the video for her. She shrugged. Any teenager can fake a video. Deep fakes, I believe they call them. When I pointed out the GPS, the license plate, the bolt cutters, her smile just twitched. Courts take harassment of young people very seriously, Mr. Calloway. The kind of behavior that makes neighbors worry. She tried flipping the narrative. Me, the dangerous neighbor. Next week, someone dumped detergent in my well. The water came out in suds. Cost me $2,000 to fix. And Stretch's investigation lasted 4 minutes. Could be anyone. Neighbors have disputes. Then came the bank. The manager at First National Bank of Millbrook told me, "Compliance flagged your deposits, potential money laundering." I told him it's all government contracts, all traceable, but he froze my accounts anyway. "Obligations to our community partners," he said. Saw a photo the next day, Cordelia giving the bank manager an award. It was never about the rules. It was always about power. I realized defense wasn't enough. Cordelia had county officials, cops, banks, all weaponized. But she'd made one mistake. She was up against someone trained to find what lies beneath. So I documented everything. Photos, recordings, timestamps. A case so tight even Cordelia couldn't wriggle free. A breakthrough came from an unexpected source. County Clerk Ren Hollister met me in a diner out of town, handed over a folder, evidence someone had been altering property records, always shrinking lakefront lots in favor of the HOA. Her sister-in-law worked in records, surprise, surprise. But the ace was a 1958 water rights agreement. Exclusive lake use, any gathering over 20 needed owners' written consent, violations equal criminal trespass. My lawyer, Nain Sutcliffe, nearly giggled with delight. Cordelia's daughter's party, with 100+ guests, was a legal trespass. And the access road? It crossed my land. No easement filed, no right-of-way. For 15 years, every resident had been trespassing just to get home. So I built a gate, industrial steel, motion cameras, controlled from my phone. Bellamy watched the whole thing. "That's not a fence," he said. "That's a statement." Party day came, and I watched the show unfold. One by one, luxury cars stacked up outside my gate. Cordelia, red-faced, pounding the bars. "Open this gate," she screamed. "Testify to what?" I replied, "That you tried to trespass on private property." Deputy Stretch showed up, tried pulling rank. I told him to back off. Audio, Video, federal court docs, everything copied to internal affairs. His hand dropped from his holster. Face gone gray. The news van rolled up, cameras rolling. Cordelia melted down on live TV. Ren Hollister produced proof of record tampering, and the crowd watched it all unfold. Cordelia's voice cracked. Do you know who I am? Your husband was CFO of Triton Development, the company I bankrupted, the one that poisoned people. Deputy Roland Ashby from State Police arrested Cordelia and stretch right there, fraud, tampering, false reports, obstruction of justice. The click of the cuffs was music. Cordelia's daughter sobbed. The party vanished. This isn't over, Calloway. Cordelia spat as she was loaded into the car. I just smiled. Ma'am, it was over the day you picked a fight with someone who knows how to read a survey map. Aftermath. Cordelia did 8 months. In county detention, more charges pending. Her real estate license gone. HOA presidency stripped. Husband filed for divorce. Deputy Stretch lost his badge, his pension, and his freedom. The properties Cordelia's shell company grabbed went into legal limbo. Many returned to former owners. The community changed. New HOA board. Real transparency, actual dialogue. An easement was finally filed for the road. The lake opened for fishing, as the old agreement required. I still sit on my dock at sunrise, coffee in hand, Bellamy beside me. Quieter now. She'll appeal, he says. That type never stops. Maybe so. But now I've got documents, time, and the patience to see justice through. Bellamy mentions another lake owner in the next county. Same pattern. Fake violations. Dawn visits. Calculating HOA president. Send her your number. Bellamy grins. Maybe it's time to teach a few more folks how to read a survey map. Cordelia believed she owned Millbrook County. Believed power and fear made her untouchable. But water never breaks. It just finds every weakness. In the end, it brings down everything built on shaky ground. I didn't destroy Cordelia. She did that herself, one choice at a time. I just made sure everyone could see. If this story reminds you that patience beats intimidation, consider sticking around. Share your own HOA nightmare in the comments. Do you think justice finally got served here, or did it just scratch the surface? See you next time.